praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Fearfully and wonderfully made, for I am beautiful. Fearfully and wonderfully made, for God made me beautiful and fearfully made.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Old Belief. Today with me I have a special guest that you've seen before, and she will introduce herself shortly. But in this video we will be continuing our Dear Black Girl conversation. So Tasha, hi.
Hello.
Tell our viewers more about you, who you are, what you do, as we, jump into today's video.
Okay, thank you very much, Raquel. So my name is Tasha Lorde. I am a registered nurse. I work in the critical care department. Currently, I work in London, United Kingdom, but I am from St. Lucia. And I also am currently completing my level 2 and level 3 certificate in personal training. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, very active young person. I love youth programs. I love anything to do with furthering yourself. And I am also a new YouTuber. I started last year, the end of August. My channel, we will tag the channel, but my name is Tasha Lorde on YouTube, and the name of my channel is Excellence Noire, and I will speak more about that later on in the video.
Okay, and I just wanted to add to that, Tasha is an amazing young lady. I'm not sure if she said this, but she loves people, and that's exactly what drives her and motivates her to do everything that she does. So yeah, you should definitely check out her channel. You can find it in the link below, and you will not be disappointed. Her content is great. She never disappoints. So be sure to like, to share, and to subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications for more alerts on when her content releases, because you want to get it as soon as it drops, okay? Because it's good stuff. Yes. So for those of you who have been following along with us, last year, August, we started a conversation, Dear Black Girl. Dear Black Girl, your life matters, your health, your skin, your hair. And we hosted a panel discussion with some of the young ladies, including Tasha, where we spoke about, just how we view ourselves as young women. So, Tasha, I'm not sure if you want to add anything from that conversation that stood out to you, or some of the highlights that we covered from that conversation. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has been. Because this was actually the first video I think I posted on my channel, because I feel like it was really important, and a lot of people did send me a lot of feedback about it. One thing I feel like that really stood out from that last conversation was us, like, I never really realized that we had so many issues growing up. Like, only when we spoke about it, I realized that it was an issue then, like especially for our hair. Different people didn't even realize that some jokes that they made, like our family members, certain jokes that they made when we were younger, that it would have affected us later on in life. And then as we got older, we noticed that, and moving hair as well, I noticed that there are a lot of young women here who never wear their natural hair because they don't feel like it's beautiful. So I really started speaking to them about it, and then realizing that it's a problem that we have, because we believe that this type of culture, like a certain type of straight hair, a certain shape, a certain complexion, all of these things, this is what we consider beautiful. And I was so happy to be part of this panel, because I love seeing young black women being confident and loving themselves and encouraging other young people to be confident as well. So I remember I loved it, I enjoyed it, and I know the people I shared it with, they did appreciate it. So if you haven't looked at it, please look at it. You can get it on Old Belief or also on my channel. And it was long, but it was worth it will be worth a listen.
Definitely worth the listen. Yeah. And you know, it's just the whole purpose of us doing that video, like Tasha said. It's because, you know, a lot of the times we as black girls, we struggle with our confidence levels. We struggle with the way that society paints us. We struggle with the color of our skin. We struggle with our curl patterns, and you know, just all of that. And that really, you know, it plays a huge part on how we view ourselves and the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we speak of ourselves, our value and all of that. So the conversation was really to, you know, to speak more about it and to help us to realize that we are beautiful regardless of our skin color, regardless of the way our hair falls on our head or doesn't fall, you know, regardless of, you know, just all of the things that society wants to paint for us of what is beautiful. Like, we're all unique, we're all different, we have different body types, we have different face structures, whatever the case is, but that doesn't mean that we're any less beautiful than the person sitting next to us. So that conversation was necessary, we thought, and it was our plan to keep it going, but life happened. However, we are back, and we're hoping to continue that conversation. Dear black girl, you know, you are beautiful, and you know, just to remind you that regardless of your circumstances, regardless of, you know, the things that happen around you, regardless of what other people say, you are important, and you can reach the goals that you set for yourself, or you can set goals that you think are unattainable. So moving forward, you will be hearing more about this, but in today's video we want to zoom in on one of the aspects of, you know, this conversation that we didn't get to cover in the last conversation, and that is health and fitness. Everybody wants to be healthy, everybody wants to be fit, but how? So when it comes to health and fitness, Tasha, you know, like, what is the importance of it to begin with? Should we really be paying attention, especially as black women, to our health, to fitness? Like, can we just, what's the importance of, you know, health and fitness?
Yeah, so I would say personally, it's something that people need to think about, because most of the times we think about money, making money, getting jobs and acquiring stuff, but we never think about our health, which is very important in the same money we're trying to make and the life we're trying to have for ourselves. It makes no sense that you're working so hard in life and then you're not going to enjoy any of the things that you work so hard for because you're sick. So you spend most of the time in the hospital, in and out of the hospital. Most of your money goes towards bills and medication and all of that. You live a poor quality of life because you cannot really go out or do anything much because you're ill. So I feel like it's something people need to think about. Like, everybody should be thinking about it, but especially as black people and black women. So the first thing I would say, the reason why I feel like it's important is it helps you to feel good. Being healthy makes you feel good. Like getting up early and going for a jog or running, just that makes you feel good. And it builds up your confidence. So getting in shape, you can ask anybody who was able to, like, they're trying to get in shape. Probably they were skinny and they're trying to bulk up, or they were overweight and they're trying to lose weight. It does build up your confidence. Okay, being healthy, eating healthy and getting nice clear skin, and really, you know, you glowing, your hair is healthy, everything is healthy, it builds up your confidence. So that's one thing I feel like it does. It helps you to feel good about yourself and it makes you very confident. The second thing is that you live longer. Okay, yes, there are accidents. Yes, there are people who would say, oh, even if you do this and that, you will still die. You don't know. You don't know if you will be in any accident. You probably have to be these people that will live up to 70 something years, but you cannot intentionally do things that will shorten your life because you feel like people die anyways. Okay,
Yes.
if you are somebody who's trying to have a good quality of life, so not just living longer but have a good quality of life, because it makes no sense to live, like for people who have amputations and stuff, that they do not have the same quality of life that people have who can walk around and go places and do different things, right? So if you're being honest with yourself, you will have a better quality of life if you invest in your health. You will be able to enjoy different activities, go different places that you would not be able to do if your health was compromised. And then another thing is that you avoid unnecessary, like I said, financially it's better for you as well, because you avoid having to spend money up and down in hospitals, getting ambulances, getting health care. Probably some people need nurses at home and all of these things. So even if you're working so hard right now to obtain money and to obtain a certain lifestyle for yourself, if you're not looking after yourself, it will be pointless, because at the end of the day you will spend all that money now to try to get your health back. So health is something that's very important, but I would say that it varies for some people. Like the significance of it, some people feel like for Christians, you know that your body is the temple of God. So you know that you only want to put things that God would be happy with, right? You don't want to put anything that will destroy your body as a Christian. And then other people will just be like, well, for me, I just want to look good. So for different people, it's they have different reasons, but everybody, I would say, needs to have a fitness journey. Everybody needs to invest in their health, because overall it will give you a better quality of life.
Yes, girl, I almost started saying amen. Praise the Lord. No, because like everything that you said is nothing but facts. You pretty much covered the foundational reasons for why we should start a health and fitness journey. And you know, the craziest thing is a lot of the time we pay so much attention to the external. We pay so much attention to our hair, whether or not our face is beat, whether or not we have clear skin. We just pay so much attention to those physical things, whether or not we're wearing something that makes us look good, or whatever the case is. But when it comes to our bodies internally, our health, we're dying on the inside.
Yep.
So we look good on the outside, but internally we're dying. And you know, I just want to add to another reason that, you know, I believe that taking care of yourself is important is because a lot of the times when if we would pay attention to what we put into our bodies, if we would pay attention to, you know, exercising and drinking water and all of these things, then that whatever is happening inside of our bodies will be reflected on the outside. So more naturally you will glow. Your hair would be stronger, and you know, all of the things that we spend so much money on, we wouldn't have to spend half as much money on, because we're paying attention to what we put into our bodies. So I'm happy that you mentioned those things. And you know, for those of us who may be contemplating whether or not I should really begin my health and fitness journey, I believe that you really hit the nail on the head as to why we should even attempt to begin that journey. And you know, just continuing that, like, what do you think some of our biggest struggles are when it comes to that? Like, some of the things, I guess, the excuses that we find, the things that we struggle with just to get started.
I think as Black people, one of the things I would say, one of the contributing factors would be the way that we're cultured. So, you know, like your parents bring you out, and, you know, or you're going on a trip or whatever, like the meal that they would get for you is like KFC, you know, like fried chicken or Burger King or whatever. So that is something. So you were raised to believe like that was a prize, like that type of food was like, yes, oh my goodness, like, you know, you did something to deserve that type of food, not realizing that it was the same types of foods that destroy our health. And it's only as you get older and you become more health conscious, you realize, you know what, no, these are not the foods. And even like sometimes, I mean, to be honest, you look at movies, and then the people go to a restaurant and they give them a small plate with just like a little cup of rice or a little something of rice with 2 string beans and whatever, and you say, what kind of nonsense is that? Like, you say, what is that? And then as you get older, you realize, like, you know, it was a balanced meal then. That a lot of the things that we eat, even at church activities, when we have potlucks and when we have stuff like that, we would have like rice and macaroni and then chow mein and then like grand provisions, and then some people don't even take salad because they don't have space on their plate now for salad. So we were cultured into eating badly, and we know as well is, especially in the Caribbean, the type of meat that we get is like meat and foods and like whatever else we get, it is not the highest quality. Most of what we got is what they didn't want and sent for us. So we're already at a disadvantage because we grew up eating like that. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is we don't really have a habit of exercising. So unless you're an athlete in school, like, no way you just leave your house and go and exercise or go and run down the road just so. The only time, to be honest, I see exactly. Oh, you're so small. Oh, Meg, what you running for, child? Go in the house, like that. And the only time St. Lucians, most times you'll see St. Lucians exercising, I mean, you know, it's Carnival coming up, or it's Pine Hill coming up, or it's something. That's when people will do it. It's not something in our culture where people just exercise to be healthy. And I know that it is like that in some cultures where people do it, even when we see it in the movies as well, that you would have this skinny parent, like white parent, or from another culture. They're skinny, but they're on a treadmill running, and like, just so why are they doing that? But we kind of grew up only thinking that exercise was for people who were overweight. And if you look skinny, that means you're healthy. So you don't need to be exercising. So we have all of these things. It's just the way we were cultured. And also now I notice something like we have that thick culture. So, you know, before, like, the standard of beauty was skinny and whatever, and now we have this thick culture where everybody trying to be thick, and that people are glorifying being thick, which I'm not saying. My God, these days. So I'm not trying to say that I'm saying anything about people who are thick. I'm just saying that a lot of people are trying to be thick now. And also people who are overweight are being glorified for being thick. But I'm not saying that I'm saying you should be confident in whatever body that you are. But you also need to be aware that people who are overweight have higher risk for certain conditions. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they're trying to get people to be, you know, body positivity and be confident. I believe everybody should be confident, but I also believe that people should be working towards being healthy. Even if people who are skinny, like even skinny people, should be working towards being healthier. Everybody should be working to be healthier. So you have a lot of young people trying to be thick, and they eat a lot of nonsense now because they're trying to put on weight quickly, and so, you know, a lot of different things. But most times what people say, and in our culture as well, we work so hard. You work so hard, so they're tired, they don't have time to exercise, they don't have time to, you know, so time as well, a lot of people feel like time is the issue. So it's a bit of,
and everything that you said, I've heard or I've seen, and you know, when you were making your first point, it just reminded me, you know how there's this meme that speaks about, you know, you telling your mom that you want to stop at McDonald's, and she's like, no, there's food at home, and you get mad
at home
because she's saying there's food at home, which is most likely healthier. But you know, that's just the like you said, it's just the culture we were made to glorify fast food, which is not the healthiest, and food at home is like, oh my gosh, yuck, you know.
Yes.
But when it should be the reverse, like, oh my gosh, we're going to McDonald's, cry, you know, let's go home. There's food at home, yay. So yeah, it's true. And you know, the last point that you made, I want to talk more about it, because you made a very important point about society and them shaping the idea of what health and fitness looks like, what healthy looks like, especially when it comes to body types and all of these things. So I find there are lots of people who work out for their own reasons, or who try to reach a certain goal or weight or body goal because of what's glorified on the internet. And it's the same thing with hair. Like, we have people glorifying that curly haired girl, and we do everything that we can to achieve those popping curls when some of our hair, the beauty is not in the curls, but it's in the coils, and learning to embrace that, we would be so much happy and our hair would thrive, based on what it wants, the love that it wants to receive. So it's the same thing with our bodies, I believe. So can you just speak to that? So I guess the question I should ask is, how do we begin to embrace our body types? Knowing the body that God has blessed us with is fine. When I mean body types, I don't mean in terms of, whether you're thick or small or whatever, just you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we begin to embrace our body types and, work out for our body types and be the best version of ourselves?
Yeah. So I would say that people need to be aware of different body types, because I think the first problem is people feel like, because they pay a lot of influencers to make people believe things. So people would have surgeries done and then make you believe it's because they exercise or they drank that or they ate that, and that's why they became like that, so that they can sell a certain product. But if people are aware of the different body types that people have, and realizing that your body type is probably not somebody else's body type, you would learn to accept yourself better. For example, like during my course, we had to deal with the actual body types that we have, like Endomorph, Ectomorph, and Mesomorph. So the Ectomorph is the very tiny people. So these people are more lean, and it takes them, it's much more difficult for them to put on weight. For example, you, Raquel, might be an Ectomorph. So it's people who they have small shoulders, small hips, and they really need to put like a lot of effort in putting on weight, but they can probably lose weight easier. And then you have the Mesomorph, which are the people with broader shoulders, smaller hips, but they kind of have like a more muscular build. So these people, like my husband, would be a Mesomorph. So these people, they're more muscular. It'd be difficult for them to put on weight, but they can gain weight and lose weight at almost the same rate. So these people are most times athletes. They're very athletic and good with sports. And then you have the Endomorph, which are the women which they consider to be more thicker, and it's difficult for you to lose weight, but easier for you to gain weight. So there are different meals and plans for these people according to your body type. However, you do not have to be like so versed in that, like to know that to be able to start a fitness journey. There are basic things that you can do just to be healthier, that all of these body types can do. But the problem people have is that somebody who's an Endomorph will want to be like an Ectomorph. So you want to look like a different body type that is not at all your body type. So you will get frustrated because you feel like you're doing all the things the person is doing and you're not seeing those results. But the first thing you need to do is to find out about your body type, and then do your research to find out what are the best exercises, what are the best meal plans for your body type, and then you're already halfway there. And look for people as well that have the same body type as you, so that you have more realistic goals, instead of getting frustrated trying to meet a standard that it's just impossible for your body type.
And I'm very happy you made that differentiation. You made it clear, simple, because like you said, a lot of the times we begin our journeys and we have goals, but our goal is to look like a certain person who has a completely different body type, and they probably have to do less work to get whatever they need to get done. So that helps to put things into perspective. But quick question, like, how do we find out what body type we have? Based on our experience, or
No, yes, you're based on your experience, but you can easily go on Google and look for the quizzes to find out your body type and fill out the questions, and it should be able, most of them are very accurate, so you can do that. And you can also have a mixture of two different body types, so that as well. But at least it helps to gauge, because what you have happening is that, some people who are very curvy, who are probably endomorphs, that's what's being glorified now. So young people now will go and do BBLs, will go and fill in their hips and fill in their thing, because the body type you have narrow hips, but you want to look like somebody, like this. So then you would go and do all of these things, and BBL as well is a very risky surgery. So people being more accepting, if you are aware of what your body type is, you probably be more accepting of the goals that you can accomplish with your body type, and not try to look like somebody else.
Okay, awesome. And we will drop a link in the description for a body type quiz, just to make things easier for you. So another question, as it relates to body types, can we change our body type based on working out? Is that something that we should make a goal, or should we just accept whatever it is our body type is, and work based on that to be the best version of ourselves?
Yeah, as far as I am aware, we cannot change our body types. I don't know if anybody else has done so, but a lot of your body type has to do with your DNA. So it's the same way I'm black. Yeah. So it will control how you gain and how you lose. So not because you're an endomorph, that means you need to be overweight, because there are endomorphs but it just shows that the body type will influence your metabolism, certain foods you eat, even if you've lost weight and you now look like you probably look like a mesomorph, or you look like an ectomorph. But if you eat the way an ectomorph eats, they might not put on any weight, but you will, because that is your body type.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that you mentioned that. So I think the biggest lesson here is being able to be content with the body that you have been blessed with, and working, defining practical goals for yourself, and working towards those goals to be the best version of yourself based on what your body type is. And I think you'll find more contentment there, because once you have established that, then life becomes easier.
Yep.
But as we wind down, as we come to a close, what are some practical things that you could tell us or give to us as it relates to how to get started on our health and fitness journeys?
Okay, so the first thing I would say that you need to do is to figure out why. And that's the most important thing, because that will be your driving force throughout your journey. Because anybody who has been on a fitness journey and trying to accomplish goals will tell you that it is not easy at all. And there are days where you want to give up. But when you have identified why you want to do it, then that becomes the reason why you do it, and it drives you even on the days where you don't want to. It will be what reminds you of why you started in the first place. So I would advise you to get a book, a journal, or something where you can write it down. You can write down your goals. So get your reason why you want to do it. Establish some goals for yourself. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to gain weight, and be very specific and realistic about the goals. Do not say I want to lose 30 pounds in a week. So you have to be very, very realistic with what you want to accomplish. So you write down the goals that you want to accomplish, and then you surround yourself with people who can help you to accomplish these goals, because you really need a lot of support during that time. and you want to be able to be consistent, because it's very important to be consistent when you are trying to accomplish any goal. So after you've accomplished your goals, you set out a plan on how you plan on attaining those goals, and then you need to be consistent. Now, I do have an in-depth video on my channel on how to start a fitness journey. So the name of the video is How to Get in Shape, 5 Things to Do, and we are going to link that video down below in the description box so that it's easier for you to see. But this one is more detailed and will be able to guide you better. But you establish your goals, Rax, and then you plan for it, and then you start. The biggest problem people have is starting, but you just start. Don't say next week Monday or the start of the month or January. Just start.
Yeah. We need to take next out of our vocabulary, tomorrow out of our vocabulary. Just, get rid of all of these things. But thank you so much for sharing these, and be sure to check out that video, on practical tools to help you to get started on your health and fitness journey. But as we come to a close, I just want to thank you again, Tasha, for being here with us today, for adding your voice and encouraging people to get started on the health and fitness journey, reminding us of the importance of being fit and healthy. Do you have any last words, any final words of encouragement as we close?
Okay, so what I would say is, especially to all Black women and young girls, that you are beautiful and you are capable of accomplishing all of your goals, and you do not have to look for happiness or contentment from anything outside. Okay, the faster you begin to accept yourself and realize that's who I am beautiful, I am loved, and I can make a difference anywhere I go. The faster you begin to accept that, the easier it's going to be for you and the happier you're going to be, because the more you try to fit in this world, the more you try to meet up with the standards, there is going to be another standard, and you will spend the rest of your life trying to keep up. So you start today and make the changes that you need to, and begin to accept yourself for who you are.
Thank you again so much, Tasha, for adding your voice and encouraging us to get started. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today on our health and fitness journeys. Thank you so much. And guys, be sure to check out her YouTube channel. Again, it's linked in the description below. It will also be linked at the end of this video. Like I said, you will not be disappointed with the content that is shared. The name alone says everything. So yes, be sure to like, to share, subscribe. And dear Black girl, you are beautiful, and we will say it 1,000,000 times over if we need to, just to remind you and convince you of the fact that you are. And not only that, but your health matters, your fitness journey, your fitness, how fit you are physically matters as well. So be sure not just to invest in the external things. Be sure not just to invest in the way that you look, in the clothes that you wear, the hairstyles that you put on, but be also sure to invest in what goes on the inside, because it will affect every single part of your life. So this is your reminder, dear Black girl, that you are important, you are loved, and that your health and fitness matters. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. We really do appreciate you. Be sure to like, to share, to subscribe. Also, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Feel free to send us a message. We will be more than happy to answer your questions. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay connected, like, share, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can stay up to date on the latest content that we release. So again, God bless you all. You are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay? Bye. God bless.